YouTube hunting people. I want to go through what's in my pack. This is a pack I take for hunting. It's set up right now for archery hunting. What's in the pack? Alright, so this is a pack I take in the field with me. It's a Cabela's pack. It's a waterproof pack. I believe it's Gore-Tex line for sure, but I think it's the Whitetail Extreme series. It's a really nice pack. I really recommend you get a waterproof pack. It's crucial because it tends to rain when you do outdoor activities, and your pack will fill up with water. Typically, you'll get water in the bottom of it. It'll wreck your shit. So get a waterproof pack. One thing on the pack I keep is a K-bar knife. It's just lashed to the strap, so it's a shoulder strap. This is just a really handy knife to have with you. You can have any flavor, so I'm not going to get into the brand or anything like that. It just stays there. This is just super handy to have on your pack if you need to trim anything when you're getting into your stands. It's there for you. If you get hung up, you need to for instance, if you're in a tree stand, if you get hung up, you fall, you might need to rescue yourself. This could come in handy cutting rope or whatever you need to do. And it's just a good place to store a knife. Alright, this pack is hydration compatible. You can put a hydration pack in there. I don't have one in there because I usually just carry bottled water. Because if you drink the whole bottle, you can also use it then to take a leak in it, so you don't stink up the area. This pack has two external pockets. I keep a high intensity flashlight. This happens to be a Phoenix PD32 in there. It's very, very bright, has multiple settings. You need a good flashlight to help you track for blood. Not that where I hunt you really need it, but this also has some SOS signals and stuff like that. And it's got multiple brightness levels, which is handy, so this can last for a really long time on some 123 batteries. You need that. The other thing that's really crucial to have with you at all times, if you're not familiar with the area, a lot of places where I hunt, there's basically a road that you'll walk to your stand from, so it's pretty close by. So the chance of getting lost are minimal, but I would keep a compass with me. Compass in the backpack. It's a good thing to just have in there. Some wind indicator. You want knowing your wind scent trail is crucial. Wind direction is crucial. If you carry some of this stuff, it's just really, this is just unscented talcum powder. And if you go like that, it makes a puff of powder, and you can see which way the wind's going. Alright. The front pocket of the pack is sort of the quick stuff, quick access stuff. Pull-up rope for a bow or a gun. Make sure it's long enough. Another flashlight. This is a green flashlight. It's just a stream light. This is good for getting into the woods. It won't spook game. Try to use it as little as possible. I carry a grunt call in the pack. Here's one. This is a night and hail. It's got a lot of use. Hopefully that'll get a buck and rut. These things work really good. The Primos can. The way it works is like this. It's basically a doe sound. It will attract bucks. I've shot 2 bucks calling them in. They were in the wood line, heading the other direction. Close to rut, if not in rut. It was the end of archery season, both times. This thing got them to turn around and come literally right to my stand like I had them on a fishing line, reeling them right in. I carry another doe bleat with me, and let's just get this. That will attract the attention of bucks. Carry another flashlight, also stream light. It's a white light, nice and bright. You should have a backup light with you. That's all that's in the front pocket. This pack has an extra storage compartment on it, which is good to put rain gear in, or your jacket if it gets warm. You don't want to overdress and get totally sweaty. It has a compartment here. Blaze orange pull-out for safety when you're coming out of the woods, and sometimes you need it during rifle season. And I have 2 bow holders or gear holders. Here they are. There's a Primos here. Should be a, it's a Primos model. Fits in your pack like this. It's got a rubber guard on it to protect the screw won't punch a hole in your pack. I didn't have mine on there because I didn't put it back on. But this just screws into the side of the tree. There's an attachment point here, and it just sits there like that. You can hang your pack or your bow off of it. Yeah, really crucial for bow hunting. You can, and actually any kind of hunting. I always have that in my pack. This is the one I like better. I carry two because sometimes you have extra shit with you. It's nice to put your bow on one and your pack on another. This one has a elbow in it, so you screw it into the tree and you can then adjust it, and it's much longer than the Primos one. I like it a lot. I don't know who makes this. I got this a long time ago. Really great piece of equipment to have. Well, that's so far what's in the pack. This is like an EDC for hunting, right? For archery hunting, actually all hunting, it's really good to know the range of the animal. I keep a rangefinder with me. Usually this is not in my pack. It's just in there now. Put it around your neck. This is a Leica LFR 800. Leicas are fantastic because of the quality of the optics. It's really, really good in low light, and it's a 7x lens in here. So you can actually use this instead of carrying a pair of binoculars. Use it as a monocular, and it really works well. For me, for archery hunting, I tend not to carry a pair of binoculars. Where I hunt, it's pretty thick cover for archery because you want them to come in close. A pair of binoculars doesn't really help you much. And also, you tend to get in the habit of looking through them and moving around too much. You need to stay still when you're bow hunting. So it's really critical to not move around so much. So I don't bring the binoculars because they tend to make me move around too much. For rifle hunting, I bring binoculars with me, as well as the rangefinder. You also need a mask. Here's a mask. Just cover up your ugly mug so you don't scare the deer. I don't like to have my face exposed. If you ever look at somebody in a tree stand without a face mask on, their face lights up like they have a light on. Okay. Same with your hands. Keep your hands covered as well. These are just a pair of lightweight gloves for archery season. There's that lock. You need always put your trash from your snacks back in your backpack. Don't throw it in the woods and be a pig. You also need a deer drag. Any flavor will work. You can use your belt in a pinch if it's not going to lose your pants. I like to have in my pack an extra knife. Here's the knife I like to have in the pack. This is just a field knife. It's good for tasks that you might need, like trimming and stuff like that. So I tend to bring extra knives. This is a Falkneven S1. This is a great knife. Highly recommend it. It's strong as can be. It's not a cheap knife, but this one has some wear on it. But man, I'll tell you what, this is a beauty. I love that knife. Okay, what else do you need? I carry hot hands with me all the time. Even even when you think it's going to be warm out, it can get pretty cool. You don't want to start shivering. If you put a pair of these, one in each hand, they will warm you up pretty nicely. You can also take them and kind of stick them in your shirt by your kidneys. They'll keep you very warm with minimal clothing on. Very good. Carry an extra release for my bow. You got to have an extra release for your bow. Obviously, I don't take this during rifle season, but the release is critical to have an extra one because you tend to drop them out of the friggin' tree stand and then climbing up and down the tree stand. You don't want to have to do that. So if you just have one in your pack, it saves the day. Sometimes you lose them too. Advil or some kind of thing for your headache, because you do get headaches. You've been up really early. You've been a lot of eye strain. A Lucky Charm. This happens to be a spearhead. I did a video on this. Found this in Texas on a deer hunt. What else? This is just a basic kit for if you cut yourself, for instance, on a broadhead. Basic medical kit. There's nothing super fancy in here other than some Band-Aids. It's also in a Ziploc to keep it watertight. It's got some steri strips, some tape, some gauze. Basically, this is just for lacerations. That's all this is for. When you're hunting, you're likely to cut yourself. You could do it while you're field dressing an animal. You could cut yourself on a broadhead even while you're nocking an arrow sometimes. Shit happens. You don't want to be bleeding a lot. Not a bad thing to have. I also carry, depending on the time of the season, some scent stuff in a Ziploc bag because this shit stinks. All this is well, here it's deer pee. So depending on the time of the year, you can use this to either cover up your set as well as attract bucks. And these are just some materials that I have that you can use to hang the scent in a tree, for instance. These guys, you saturate it with scent, hang it in the tree, clips on. That's helpful. And this is just a scent drag. All this is a piece of line. You saturate this piece of cloth with the scent, hook this onto your belt or your boot, and walk into the woods. You'll create a scent line or a scent trail. Oh man, that stinks. And you can actually get bucks to walk right down the scent trail, right to your stand, where you can whack them. Yeah, this stuff stinks. Let me tell you what. Right now my dog is sniffing around the basement. What the hell is that smell? Alright, what else do I have in here? This is really important. Snacks. Cliff bars are good. This package I'll get to in a second. Then this really depends where I'm hunting. I don't know, this happens to be in my pack. But all this is some survival gear. If you're way out there, if you're hunting alone, you might get injured. You want to be able to make it through the night, or if you have to stay there a long time, all right? So this is the minimal thing you need. This is a whistle to help you get rescued, as well as another compass on the end, and inside of here is waterproof matches, all right? Right inside of here, this is also a waterproof container. It's got a gasket on it, relatively waterproof. I put some paper in here to keep the matches from bouncing around and making noise, and also you can use that paper as kindling, right, if you need to start a fire. That's that. Space blanket. This thing could save your ass. This is just a magnesium fire starter tool, right? Know how to use it. Shave off some magnesium. You have a steel here. You can strike it. It'll start a fire even in wet conditions. And then I have some light sticks. Light sticks are good. They can function to light things up for you. These are rather big ones. But you can also use them to, these will last for about 12 hours. You can also use them to mark a trail, for instance, if you needed to. Check their expiration date on these because they have a shelf life. Alright. And now if I'm hunting, you know, with a bunch of buddies on basically a hunting party, then I don't really carry this. I leave it in the truck because you know, we have a safety system. We know people are responsible for each other, so you're not going to get left in the woods overnight. Now, if you go out a long way on your own and tell your wife, yeah, I'm going hunting, blah, 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 she doesn't really know where that is, you might need something like this. This is a key piece of kit. There's a few things in here. This is all about after you killed your deer. This is the after you killed your deer thing. I have just some marking tape. It's, you know, just the flag stuff. This is a great thing to mark your blood trail. So if you shoot a deer with an arrow, it takes off on you, you find blood, you can start marking the trail with this. It's easy to see. So if you have to come back in the morning, you'll pick up the trail really easily, for instance, even in the rain. After you kill a deer, you got to field dress it. It's messy. It's nice to have some wipes to wipe off your hands and some sanitizer. You really don't want to keep all that stuff on your hands. Your number one task after you're shooting a deer is to tag it. I have some quick ties that allow you to attach your tag to the ear of the deer really easily, and just a couple of pens so you can fill out your tags. Alright, So that's it. This pack is now completely empty. So that's my primary pack that goes in the woods with me. I also always have some extra stuff that I will add to the pack or not. Depending on the weather, I have packable rain gear. These are pants and a shirt, real small. They can easily go in your pack. Super light, and they can go in your pack depending on what the weather report's going to be. Sometimes you don't need them. Depending on where you're hunting, you might want to take something like a thermocell with you if it's really, really buggy. These things come in handy during bear season, or when you're shooting black bears. There tends to be lots of flies and stuff like that. And even in the earlier archery hunt I just came back from, which was unsuccessful but a hell of a lot of fun, the mosquitoes were brutal. It was so warm. Good thing to have. And don't forget, if you have that, you want to keep the little chemical pads that make it work. I also, in this pack, will always have a caping knife. This is a Bark River Pro Caper. It's a great little knife. Let's see, well, you can see that. Let's zoom in here. This is a beauty. It's a really, really nice knife. It's for caping the animal. So this is something that you can leave back at camp with you, because caping just means you're going to remove all the hide from the animal to get a mount made from it. Okay, take the cape of the animal. I carry an extra mask with me because sometimes you lose them. I always have a pocket knife with me. This is an extra one. This is a Benchmade 940 Osborne. Great knife. When you're setting up your tree stand, it's a really, really good idea to have a little saw with you to remove some branches and stuff that might be in your shooting lane or preventing you from getting into your tree stand. This is a little Gerber. It's packable. This is nice to have. You can even put this in your pack, depending if you're going to start hunting from a blind or something like that. You might need to clear some stuff out, but I don't take it with me because I set up the tree stands before I go. And if it's a climber, I pick a tree where there's no branches. This is the knife I'll keep on my belt. I do not keep the steel with it. Let's get rid of that steel. This is a Bark River Fox River. This is a hunting knife that I use. I'll carry this on my belt, or my custom knife. I'll do a video on that separately. This is extremely sharp. It's a fantastic size of a knife for deer hunting. This is all. You don't need anything bigger than this. Remember that Falk Neven is much, much bigger, but you can certainly dress a deer with this in a pinch, but it's not ideal. This is sort of like more of for a survival aspect that you might get into. You don't necessarily need it. Another can. Remember, this pack is a backup pack. It doesn't go with me in the tree stand or in the woods. It just sits in the truck. It has all my stuff that I might need to back up this pack in it. Another can. It's from another brand. This happens to be, I think, a Quaker Boy one, and a Bleatin' Heat. There's no difference between this and the Primos. Get the one that's cheapest. I carry also in here just a collection of batteries for all the equipment, 9 volts, etc., whatever kind of batteries you're running. And there's actually happens to be a couple of extra lights to replace lights on flashlights, just that I've collected over the years. And they could in fact come in pretty handy. This just again is make sure you have fresh batteries in your flashlight. This is believe it or not, all these are is an extra pair of shoelaces. If you break your shoelaces on your boot. This is just a tether strap. Depending on the tree stand you're going into, you can, might not have it, you might want to put this on there. This goes around the tree, fastens to the tree. It's made out of seatbelt material, and you can actually tether your harness line onto this, so this just stays in the tree. It's just something to have in there. If you know the stand you're going into, you might want to add one or not, and you can just, I have a shitload of these, so excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. it's just a, an extra thing that can make your life a little easier. An extra grunt call. This happens to be a Primos. Because I tend to lose calls in the woods all the time. An extra back tag. This happens to be a camo one. I mean a blaze orange one. I usually use a camo one. This is critical because a lot of states require you to display your tag on your back. If you lose one, they suck. So I have an extra one. Extra quick ties for the license again. And these are some extra bulbs for that Streamlight flashlight. You can change the colors to clear, blue, or red. An extra carabiner. Don't cheap out on carabiners. Go to a store like REI or EMS and get yourself a badass carabiner. This one happens to be an Omega. This is a Fat Boy carabiner. You could hang a friggin' pickup truck off of a tree with this thing and it ain't going anywhere. So I like to make sure I'm not going to fall out of the tree. Falling out of the tree sucks. Trust me. I know. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. I know these things. That's why you watch my channel, because I'm so in the know. What else? I have an extra compass. Compasses are important in the woods. Don't be stupid and get lost and wreck everybody else's hunting trip because you got lost. What else? Put this away before I wind up cutting the shit out of myself. And that pretty much covers it. This is a nice pack too. It's just a fanny pack. Pretty convenient. What I don't like about the a couple of extra cheapo carabiners. These are just for haul lines. These are not to suspend your body from at all. In fact, it says so. Not for climbing. By the way, for carabiners, this is critical, a little bit off subject, but always get one with a locking gate, right? So this is the gate here, right? A lot of carabiners just open and close, like if you're lead roping, right? You just want to be able to snap in there, right? Snap in there, line, so you're secure, quick. You're not going to have hands to do this. But for tree stands, when you connect your harness to the tree, you want to have that gate secured, so I can screw that up. This cannot open, and your rope could never slip out of this. The fact that it's locking also makes it stronger. I believe that's the case. So, locking carabiner. They're not cheap, but buy them because they could save your ass. Again, this is a nice pack. It's also the Cabell. It's the same thing as the other pack, but in the fanny pack version. What I don't like about these is you put them around your waist, you start walking, they tend to wiggle down. So if you're going to get a fanny pack, get one with the suspenders built into it to keep it from sliding down. That's the crap I keep in my backpack for archery season. I hope you found it useful. If you're new to hunting, this might give you an idea of the basics that you need. You can certainly eliminate stuff. What you could eliminate is, for instance, having a field knife with you. You could eliminate one of the bow holders. That's fine. You could eliminate something like the survival mini kit, right? Depending on where you are. Sometimes I don't bring this. You can make it as light as you want and as minimalist as you want, depending on your hunting style and your hunting conditions. Take care.